What's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I love when you guys give me comments and I read all of them. And I got a request in the comment section that I should talk about the Korean education system. And for me, as a foreigner, from the first sight, the Korean education system really makes smart people. And I heard that 80 to 90% of high school students go to the university afterwards, which is insane! So I always thought that the Korean education system is something incredibly good. But after doing some deeper research and asking some Korean friends, I'm actually not so sure anymore. You see, I love Korea and everything about Korea, and I always make videos about Korea and where I talk good about Korea. It seems that this topic is something that Koreans at least should think about. You see, in Sweden, it's actually not so common to go to the university. Because if you go to the university to get a higher education, to get a higher salary, then the gap between the lowest payment and the highest payment, just in general in Sweden, is really not that big. Because we're pretty equal. So most people actually think it's a waste of time to go to the university here. Because they can get a well-paid job anyway without studying. So some people don't even finish high school here. Me, for example, I studied at the university because I had a big passion for my specific area and this specific subject. I didn't study to get a higher salary or a more well-paid job. I studied because I was interested and for my passion for this subject. Korean education system's difference is because of the structure of the Korean society. Because in Sweden, everybody is, like I said before, pretty equally rich here. While in Korea, it's a huge gap between the rich and the poor. And in Korea, top 3% owns 70% of the whole country's wealth. To become those top 3%, you have to distinguish which ones are gonna get those top 3%. And the easiest way to line them up is by doing it with education. And I've heard a lot of bad sides about your education systems. Because Koreans are really smart up here. Incredibly smart. But not the smart people who speak out loud what they think. I want to play one clip for you to watch here.
Yeah, you know, I feel obliged to take maybe one question from the Korean press, since you guys have been such excellent hosts. Anybody? This gentleman right here, he's got his hand up. He's the only one who took me up on it. Go ahead. And I'll probably need a translation, though, if you're asking the question in Korean. In fact, I definitely will need a translation.
Unfortunately, I hate to disappoint you, President Obama. I'm actually Chinese. But
well, it's wonderful.
I think I get to represent the entire Asia.
Absolutely.
We're one family here in this part of the world.
Well, your English is better than my Mandarin also, so. Yeah, but now, in fairness, though, I did say that I was going to let the Korean press ask a question. So I think that you know, you held up your hand anyway.
Will my Korean friends allow me to ask a question on your behalf?
Well, it depends on whether there's a Korean reporter who'd rather have the question. No? No takers?
You see, my point here is that in Korea, people seem to worry too much what the other people think about you, or if they are wrong, or they're too scared to be criticized when they say things out loud. And this prevents people from just asking. People are taught to learn, but not to ask. They are taught to be correct, but they are not taught to say things freely. I'm gonna give you an example here. A friend of mine always brings out this example the first year he went to high school. In Sweden, of course. Because he always was taught that there is an answer to all questions in school. That's the way he was studying. But the first day of high school, the teacher was asking him some question like, what did the World War II do to the rest of the world? And he immediately answered what he has been taught and what he has read about this topic in school, and what he has been printed in his brain that this is the correct answer to this specific question. But in the middle of the sentence, the teacher actually interrupted him, and he said, "No, I want to know what you think." And my friend just got, "What? So I have to think for myself? I have to come up with an answer myself?" And my friend also had a classmate in school who always was a rebel and didn't care about school and never studied. But he always questioned, and he always had opinions, and he always had thoughts about the topics and the subjects that the teachers were talking about. So he just answered what he thought about this topic, about these questions. And it turned out he got the correct answer that the teacher were looking for. Because the teacher wanted the students to think themselves and have their own opinions. You see, in general, in Sweden, people just speak out loud what they think. They have very strong opinions, and they proudly say what they think. But they're not necessarily smart in the head. But in Korea, they seem to know everything in the head, but they don't necessarily say it out loud. We want to know what the other people think. That's how you build a society. If people tell more what they think, then they can eventually change things that actually turns out to be wrong in society. The education system in Korea is not for all people. It's for a small amount of people, only for a few top. In Sweden, we focus on the education into a small society before we actually go out to the society. You will meet various amount of people and learn different things that you can realize in society. And teachers and the education system encourage us Swedish people to learn ourselves and to look for answers ourselves. But it seems in Korea that the education system is more focused on studying and scores. Not many people care about the school's socially function aspect. School seems only to be for the academic achievement. The Korean education system is, if I generalize, to find an answer. While in Sweden, the education is more to learn while you're searching to find the answer. It's not necessarily the answer that is the answer. It's the process to get to the answer. And we even have a saying that is quoted, "Failure is how you learn," which basically means that you learn by failing. And the teachers and the parents all are from a really young age. They're trying to make their child or their students to find answers themselves. They really encourage that, so the child can be as independent as possible. Anyways, you guys, I didn't have many sources on this topic. I asked some friends, so I'm not even 100% confident if I'm right about this topic. So maybe I want to make a sequel to this video, but first I want to know give me all your opinions about this topic. Give me all the comments and examples, and give me everything about this topic. Please correct me if I'm wrong here. Tell me all your experience in the comment section below so I can make a sequel to this video if necessarily. Because I want to know what you guys think. I really want to know more about this topic. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you don't take this in the wrong way. I'll see you in the next video.